Welcome back. An average of 4 people a day in Kentucky overdose on drugs and die.
It's amazing. 4 people. Now, for one group of teenagers at a central Kentucky school, that's unacceptable. And they're not just talking about the problem. This group at Anderson County High School is taking action. They formed a school club called Saving Our Students, or SOS. And their mission is to educate younger students, reach out to parents, and be there for their peers in high school.
And where I've had a family member go through this, it was hard on her and us as a family, and I want to try and prevent that because it takes a long time to get the family back together.
They hear the same things from us over and over and over again, and I think hearing it from their peers, being able to see their peers practice this every day and talk to them about what they can do if they're in a bad situation, that's huge.
Like how bad? These 5 core members of SOS have support from the community there and their fellow students. Plus, they bring in speakers to help motivate and tell it like it is. To help us break down the news tonight, 2 of those students, Heidi Garcia and Jael Cobb, join us now. And ladies, thank you. Your first appearance on live TV, so I know you're not nervous one bit, but thank you for being with us here. Heidi, I'll start with you. Why is it so important, you think, for Anderson County High School to have an SOS club, to have what you guys are trying to do?
Well, I think we definitely raise awareness for people in our school. In Kentucky, we have one of the highest rating drug problems, and so I believe that our club helps. Well, we're trying to help diminish that. I think it starts early. It starts in high school, people trying to fit in, and we're trying to put a stop to that and raise awareness for them.
I think it's hard for parents like us to understand how bad is the drug problem when we're talking about high school, middle school.
Well, you wouldn't think that it starts as early as it does, but you can see signs of it from middle school up, and even sometimes in early elementary school.
So it's still considered the cool thing?
I think so. I think a lot of it is from peer pressure and just trying to fit in. I know when I first heard that I wouldn't think that, why would anyone let themselves be pressured into that? But once you're friends with someone and then they involve themselves in something like this, then it's hard not to involve other friends because they don't want to go do things like that alone.
Does it shock you, Jael, to hear the number 4 people average a day in this state overdose and die? A day.
I think it's definitely believable. It's hard to hear and hard to comprehend. But it's definitely something that I can see happening with the growing problem in our community and in our state and nationwide.
Do you think that's the disconnect with younger students, that they don't realize that death can occur from this? Go ahead.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. To them, it's something they do with their friends, it's something they do to fit in, but I guess they don't realize the major consequences that could happen with it. And so, I feel like a lot of people would say, oh, I can control it, I can stop when I want to, but they just don't realize how, it can build up.
And a lot of people are seeing their parents do it, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's sad.
Definitely.
So you guys are going to go to elementary schools in Anderson County. Heidi, tell me about that. You're going to talk to the younger kids?
Yeah. I've already traveled to the middle school already to talk to them about it, and we want to go as young as we can. You can never start too early to talk about it, and we just, like we said, we want to raise awareness besides the DARE program, because that's the only thing they have, and that's until you take it in the 5th grade. And then they just kind of forget about it after that. So we want to keep it a constant thing.
What's your main message to those kids, Jael, when you go talk to them? What are you trying to tell them?
I think a lot of the problem with the drug epidemic that's going on is that they don't realize that they have people to talk to, people who care about them and are concerned for them and their well-being. So I think it's important to reinforce the positive norms of this world, that that's not what you have to fall into. You have people that you can talk to, people who care about you and who just want to turn you away from that so that you can have the best possible future for yourself.
Well, keep at it, guys. Good work.
Thank you.
Jael Cobb and Heidi Garcia, both juniors at Anderson County High School. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Thank you.
Safe travels going home with the snow.
Yeah.
Right. Well, you can join the conversation by leaving your comments on WKYT.com or on our Facebook page. Let us know what you think.